So since there's a whole lot of nada tostada happening right now, and I'm just sitting here at the yard just waiting for something to happen, I figure, hey, why not make a equipment review, a truck review? That way people who are looking to get into hotshot have an idea of what it is that I run, my suggestions on how to run it, and basically the equipment, what it takes, and what have you that I have in the truck. So I'm going to divvy it up into two different pieces, or possibly three different pieces. It's going to be truck, trailer, and possibly equipment if I'm feeling really frivolous about how many videos I'm going to push out. And considering that my upload schedule is pretty much all over the place, it might be three just so I can squeeze out some content because, clout whore. Brad out here, so I'm going to throw on the Harbor Freight safety glasses for fashion and protection against this sun we got going. Boom, so this is the tractor, this is the power unit, very dirty, full of mosquitoes, but yeah, it is a 2022 Cummins 2500 Ram, and I absolutely love this thing. I have my bias towards Dodge and towards Ram, so if you ask me, I think it is the superior platform, but it's not without its flaws. I definitely think that the Cummins is the best platform for diesel and for towing. I'm gonna take inside the truck real quick because the wind is pretty bad and I just don't want the audio to be distorted. So why do I think that Cummins is gonna be the superior one? I just want you to humor me for a minute. I'm not saying that it's the end all be all, that the Dodge Ram is the best truck out of the lineup, because it has its flaws, 100% it does, and I acknowledge it. But as far as the Cummins goes, I think it is the best diesel engine that there is for towing and for hotshot. And I know when I say that, there's a guy that just gripped his Busch Light a little bit harder because he's thinking about the 7.3 power stroke. Humor me for a second, right? Look at a Peterbilt. Look at a International. Look at a Kenworth. Whatever your truck of flavor is. Look at that. Look at what powertrain they have. And I know we're comparing apples to oranges because you're going to say, Angel, but the C15 is a 15-liter diesel. Or, hey, the 3406B is a 13 point whatever liter diesel. Yes, but look at what it is. It's an inline six-cylinder diesel truck. And what are they powered by? Well, you have your Mercedes, you have your Detroit, you have your Caterpillar, and you have your Cummins. So to me, if Cummins is stuffing six-cylinder or inline six-cylinder diesel motors into semi-trucks, they know a thing or two about diesel and about power plants. That makes a lot of sense to me. So as far as the truck itself, yes, it has its flaws. As far as the Cummins itself goes, I think it is very powerful, it is very plentiful, and it's tried and true, man. I mean, look at it this way. There's 12 valves that I've seen haul things that they should not be hauling. 24 valve, 5.9 Cummins. They are amazing trucks. They have good power plants, except the 53 blocks. If you know, you know. Anyways, besides the point is that Cummins is a company that stuffs their diesel motors into things more than just pickup trucks. And now look at the Power Stroke and look at the Duramax. They've gone through several variations, and it seems kind of like they're throwing things at a wall and hoping one of them will stick. And this is 100% my bias. This is not like I am saying that I am correct, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. There's going to be a die-hard Ford guy. There's going to be a die-hard Chevy guy that will argue up and down that all they see is Cummins parked on the side of the road. I argue that all I see is Cummins hot-shotting. So very much up to you, but my bias lies in Cummins. Now, with that being said, my bias is in Cummins. Dodge, on the other hand, is kind of where my bias dies down, because they are not without fault. Cummins getting followed by a 68 RFE is a very iffy thing. Now, there is the high output Cummins that are being followed by a ASIN transmission, a 6-speed heavy duty ASIN transmission. If you have the opportunity to do it, I would go that way, just out of the sake of having a little bit beefier of a transmission. But if you play your cards right and if you get the money for it, I don't see why you couldn't take the 68 RFE and rebuild it and do like a stage whatever, rebuilt in a crazy torque converter and a bunch of like Kevlar gears and whatever, a valve body and a deep pan. That would make sense to me down the road when you have the money for it. So my general experience with the Cummins itself is that Cummins is amazing. The Dodge 2500, not so amazing, but it has done everything that I've asked for it to do. It's done me justice. I have had a couple of blips with it, but I would not disencourage anybody from grabbing a Cummins, or I mean a Dodge 2500 Cummins. The only thing I would say is be careful with those miles, be careful with how the truck was treated, maintenance history if you can find it. There's a couple of things like that that you can do to just kind of prevent headaches. I got my truck with 40,000 miles on the clock. It's currently sitting at 85,000 miles on the clock, and it's still up and running, man. Yeah, it's a brand new truck. Yeah, it only has 80,000 miles, but these last 45,000 miles have been pretty solid. I can only think of like 2 things that the truck, probably 3 times, where the truck has acted up and I have been upset about it. But it has done me right for 45,000 miles. And here oh, I guess not. Ew. And here it is, muchachos, the Cummins, and I did add an S&B air intake. I don't think that there is really a big difference. The only difference is that with the Banks, I do know that they have an upgraded filter that is going to prevent the check engine lights. You do have a overflow EGR check engine light that comes when you add one of these guys, and it just confuses the system because it's saying like, what the hell's going on? We're getting way too much air coming in, and the system doesn't like it. So do a little bit of homework. If you like S&B, run SMB. As far as I know, they don't have a solution for the check engine light, where Banks, I think they're working very diligently. And also, adding to the last part of my bias, I love how these front ends look on the new 5th gen Rams. I wish it was a night edition, but it is what it is, man. I still love it. I think it's a great looking truck. Also, as far as servicing most of these things, it's relatively easy, man. Your crank ventilation system or the filter is right up there, literally on the underneath this valve cover, or it is a valve cover. It's super simple. It's probably like 12 8mm bolts. Just pop those guys up, pop the new one in, and then just put everything back down where you found it. All right, Angel, what else you got going inside of this good old truck? Well, got myself some plastic mats. Very obvious reasons. You're hopping up and down at a construction site, so you don't want to drag too much dirt in here. It just helps keep everything nice and pristine underneath it, although you can get a bunch of dirt here off on the sides. Got a nice butt cushion for all those long drives. And over in the center console, I have a phone/tablet holder. And I can't stress this one enough. Look at whatever truck you're looking to get. Always look at this door card right here, because this is gonna, oh, well, maybe it helps if I focus on the right part. Always focus on this. This is probably one of the most important things you can look at on any of the trucks that you're gonna pick, or any of the power units that you're thinking of looking at. GVWR, 10,000 pounds. Rear axle, 640. And this is where a lot of people are going to mess up with their hotshot setups. And this is where a lot of people don't do that correct research. And I'll get into depth later, or I'll probably make up tips and tricks. But your truck, when it comes across the scale, your 2 axles, your front steer axle, that axle, those front 2 tires, and your rear 2 tires cannot exceed 10,000 pounds. I know what you're thinking. Angel, my 2005 3rd gen has compound turbos and can haul X amount of weight, and I've hauled 40,000 pounds down the Eisenhower Pass, or the Loveland Pass, or Rabbit's Ear Pass. I don't give a shit. The person who does is the DOT officer. So you need to very well make sure that when you are coming across those scales, I do not care if your truck can haul 50,000 pounds. If you are a non-CDL operator, your truck cannot exceed these limits, 26,000 pounds, which means that 10,000 pounds are already being taken from your truck. So I hope my editing skills are a lot better than I intend or have them, but let's have a little square right here, Angel, please and thank you. Okay, awesome. So now you have your 10,000 pounds from your truck, right? Out of the 26,000 pounds, you subtract 10,000 from your 26,000. I believe it's 26.5, maybe 26,000 flat, right? You subtract your 10,000 from your 26,000, leaving you with a total of 16,000. Congratulations, we can math together. Okay, very good. Quick introduction, this is my Big Tex 16G and trailer. It is 40 feet long and it has 2 8,000 pound axles. Okay, so it doesn't take a genius for this one. 2 8,000 pound axles means that it can haul 16,000 pounds. Correct, you're doing great, Sunny Bear. It's right here on my sticker. 8,000 pounds on the front, 8,000 pounds on the rear, which gives me a total of 15,000 pounds. Confusion. So why does my two axles of 8,000 pounds equal 15,000? Well, the reason is I have my trailer derated, which means that I have to haul less weight than what's posted on that sticker. And this is where stuff gets a little bit iffy and sticky. Two things here. One, my trailer can haul 16,000 pounds, but your trailer does weigh something. A lot of people don't do this math, and this is kind of where like they start breaking stuff where they get lucky to a certain extent. If you have something that has the capacity to haul 16,000 pounds, you can't just throw 16,000 pounds because you'd be overloading it. The damn thing is a metal structure that's hauling ass. It has to weigh something. For example, your PR is 225 bench press, right? And you get excited and you start grabbing 45-pound plates and you start throwing them on there, and you throw 225 pounds of just pure plates on there. You're going to grab that bar and you're going to have a very rude awakening because you're not actually at 225. You're at 270 because you forgot to add the bar. That 45-pound plate, or that 45-pound bar, is the trailer in this instance. A lot of people don't count for that trailer. So I have a 16,000 capable trailer that weighs 6,600 pounds, and that needs to come into the math. So this is what you do. You grab your door sticker, 10,000 pounds. Whatever the trailer is capable of, in this instance, it's 15,000 pounds. If I wanted to just make it 16,000 pounds and not derated, that would be perfect. That means that my 10,000 pound capable truck plus a 16,000 pounds from the trailer are going to equal 26,000 pounds, which is at non-CDL limit, and that's what you need to be looking for. So now, because you're hauling now you have a capable trailer of 26,000 pounds, or your setup can haul 26,000 pounds, you need to watch out for a couple of things. When you come across that scale, you need to be at 26,000 pounds exactly. This is including your food, this is including your fuel, your DEF, your equipment, your chains, your whatever you have, your dog, your woman, your whatever is in that truck with you needs to be at 26,000 pounds when you're rolling across those scales. Just because your trailer is capable of hauling 16,000 pounds and you subtract those 6,600 pounds, whatever the math is, whatever your trailer is exactly, doesn't mean that you can haul that limit, because you weigh something. Your clothing weighs something. Your water, your food, your supplies, your extra tires, all of those things are weight that contribute to said 26,000 pounds. So don't make the mistake of thinking just because you have a trailer that is capable of hauling said amount of weight, that you can haul said amount of weight. You need to throw your truck on a scale, take the number from the scale, and okay, well, by myself in my truck, everything is weighing in at 13,500 pounds. I would subtract that from your 26,000 pounds, and that weight, give or take a couple hundred pounds, would be what I would haul. And this one is just preference. Yes, I could have hauled my trailer at 16,000 pounds and left it, not derated it, and left it just 16,000 instead of 15,000. The reason I did not do that are two things that are important to me. The first one is I do not know what truck I'm going to end up with, but I'm more than likely going to stay with the trailer. So if tomorrow I decide to get a 3,500 single tire truck with a mega cab, because mine's just a regular cab, if I decide to get that mega cab and that 3,500 has 1,000 pounds higher limit, then I'm going to have to re-register my trailer, which is more money and which is just more of a headache. So I'm kind of compensating there a little bit. Maybe I get a Silverado, maybe I get a Sierra, maybe I get a F250, and the F250 has 11,000 compared to my 10,000 Ram. I want to be able to have that little bit of a squeeze there so I can hop around with numbers and still be okay and not be in violation.